There are still lots of questions about what happened in the Uvalde school shooting. KHOU 11 News continues to try and get answers for you.
But as investigative reporter Jeremy Rogowski explains, the Texas Attorney General's office is blocking the release of a lot of information, Jeremy.
When the AG's office shot down much of what we asked for from the city of Uvalde, more than a dozen records that could shed more light on the massacre. And some records that were released were so heavily redacted, they're useless. When it comes to police investigation records, an incident report is about as basic as it gets. But 3.5 months after the Robb Elementary shooting, here's what was released. 2 lines about how officers responded to the school about an accident and shooting. The other 14 pages of the report are completely blacked out.
These records tell us essentially nothing about what actually happened that day because of the heavy redactions.
Attorney Reed Pilifant represents KHOU 11 and more than a dozen other news outlets that are suing the city of Uvalde and others for records.
I messed up, it's still shooting.
The Attorney General has blocked the release of additional body camera footage of the incident, as well as dash cam video, dispatch recordings, and 911 calls. The AG's office said information relating to litigation must be withheld, and the release of some of the information would interfere with the detection, investigation, or prosecution of a crime.
Our argument is that the shooter is already deceased and can't be criminally prosecuted, so the vast majority of these records could be released without impacting any investigation.
The records that were released did provide some nuggets of new information. The shooter's uncle called police dispatch advising his nephew was the shooter and that there was no change in his behavior over the past couple of days. And a few days after the massacre at the shooter's grandmother's house, the shooter's mother went to pick up her son's property but was issued a criminal trespass warning and told to leave the location. A judge will ultimately have to decide what records the city of Uvalde has to release. Meanwhile, the media coalition, including our parent company TEGNA, also is suing the Uvalde School District, the Sheriff's Office, and DPS for records. Mia and Len.
All right, Jeremy, thank you for the update on the investigation. We know it is ongoing.